I give compliments and thanks to NASCOM Foundation, particularly Mr. Srikant Sinha, and all those who have taken time out and shown their interest to be present here. Now we are here to speak on this panel about persons with disability. To talk about disability, there are disability which are physical, there are disability which are mental. Different types of disabilities are there in physical form and in mental form, and then the percentage varies. We have coined a term person with disability. Frankly speaking, I have not come across anybody in this world who can be given to me as a sample that, look, this sample is perfect 100%. Everybody is a person with disability. The only thing, in some cases the degree varies, it is visible, and in some cases it is not visible. All of us are suffering from some disability or the other. So we are all one. They are part of us, they are not apart from us. And this has to be kept in mind, that we are all one, and that is how we have to move forward. Now in our family, if somebody is performing very well, somebody is not up to the mark, it becomes our responsibility to see that he also comes up to the mark, so that we all move in one direction in the same speed. It becomes a national and social responsibility, and let me tell you, it is not obligation, it is their right. Their right for livelihood, their right to be part of the society, their right to be inclusion and mainstreaming. Coming to the numbers, numbers have been given about 1 crore, but I have my doubt that the number is much large, because when the census takes place, there are a lot of people who don't disclose, particularly in rural areas, where 69% of the population of persons with disability are expected to be living. And the number is growing. And what we have to look at this number is that this is a resource, because almost 60 to 70% are in the employable young age group who can be skilled, and they can become a resource for this country, and they can contribute very effectively to national GDP growth. So we have to look at them as a resource. Now, what we do in our council, a skill council for persons with disability, we look at skilling them in a manner that the employability is created. They are able to get employment, and they are able to earn their livelihood, which leads them to lead a life of dignity, which leads towards inclusion and mainstreaming in the society. A person with disability may be dependent on some able person, so-called able person, but once he starts earning his livelihood, there will be able person dependent upon him, on his livelihood. Now, how do we do it? How do we mainstream them? We create a skill in them in a sense that the potential employer looks at him not because he is a person with disability, but because he has a skill, and that is skill of use to me. We are, as Mr. Panigrahi said, we are a horizontal council. There are vertical councils, like you have skill councils for electronics, hospitality, beauty, wellness, gems, jewelry, retail. There are about 39 of them. What we do, each council has created various job roles of different levels, and each job role has what they call QP and NOS. QP is qualification pack, NOS is National Occupation Standard. In a very broad term, QP is nothing but a job description at a level. You have to have a job, what is the description of that job, and NOS is the activities involved in discharge or to meet the responsibility of that job. What we do, we pick up the job roles which are compatible, and the most important exercise for us is job mapping. We do job mapping with type of disability, so that the disability doesn't become a restraining factor in performing for that role. This is a very, very sensitive and crucial exercise, and we involve industry, we involve subject matter experts, and we take hundreds of ratification before we form up our view that, okay, I am going to pick up this job role for this type of disability at this level. Once we pick up the job role, what we do, we create expository. Expository is just an expounded information that how the QP-NOS is a learner-oriented document that is taught to the learner that how will he do the job. What we create is called expository, which is trainer-oriented. The trainer will learn how to transfer this knowledge to a particular type of disabled person. So the expository is disability specific. Now you can imagine the volume. Suppose there are say 30 job roles and I have 19 type of disability. So if I have picked up 30 job roles, so 30 to 90 I have to create 570 expository. And this expository they become national document. You can see it on the website of NSDC, our own website, and that becomes the tool to impart training. And we take a lot of technological assistance and support, optical reader, various applications, so that it becomes easier to transfer that job to the person. Now, when it comes to employability, we have a labor management information system, a cell within us, which coordinates with the vertical council, and then we go to various employers to understand that what are the openings currently, what are the openings that can come for future, what are the job roles which are going. And we all know that if anybody gets into a job, it is a matter of 30, 35, 40 years. So we are very clear about what is the future of the job. It should not happen that we take a job and then it does not sustain, it becomes obsolete after some time, because a person of disability will have no place to go again. So we keep our eye on the future of the job, and we simultaneously keep eye on the job of the future. There are various jobs which are not existing, but they are going to come. Because of the IT revolution, there are various jobs which are going to come which are not existing today. So we also keep an eye on that. And after doing the job mapping, we start the skilling. Now, when we go to do the skilling, we have to affiliate lot of training centers with us. We do center validation. We check the accessibility. We check the tools, trainers. They are disability oriented. And then we also carry the domain person, the vertical SSC representative who will certify from the job role point of view, the domain vertical point of view, the center audit is done, because at the end of the day, he will get a job for that role, not for the disability. So after this, there we have to liaise with the vertical council. And then we liaise for the picking the job role, we liaise for the center audit. Then we come to the trainer. The training provider will have trainers. Now we have to ensure that the trainers are disability sensitive. So we carry out huge amount of train the trainer sensitization training, and then we also send their trainers to the verticals for train the trainer on the domain. Now there are two ways of doing it. I pick up a hospitality job role trainer and train him on speech hearing disability, or I pick up a speech hearing disabled expert and train him in hospitality. Now that becomes a longer process. So what we do, we sensitize the master and he becomes a master trainer. And that is how we start doing our training. After the training, we have online tracking system. We have assessment. There are third-party independent assessors. They are also trained how to handle disability, person with disability and different types. And they do the assessment, and that is how result comes. Now when it comes to employability, why a person should employ a person with disability? So we have to do a lot of advocacy. There are skill gap studies which have been done, but for us it is more of advocacy. There are business sense in hiring a person of disability. I can list a few here, I can give a few examples here. You see, a person with disability is very focused and concentrated. He has no diversion. The second advantage is that the attrition rate is very, very low. In today's retail, BPO, you go to malls, you go to IT sector, the attrition is very high. The industry trains a person and the person doesn't remain. That is the advantage here, the attrition rate is very low. They have aspirations, but they have moderated aspirations. They don't have aspirations beyond they are aware of their capabilities and they are confident about it, and that is another advantage to the employer. Now, To cite an example, say Lemon Tree Hotel in Delhi. They are one of the leading ones who engage persons with disability in their laundry section, in their housekeeping, not room service, housekeeping. They have employed persons with speech and hearing disability. Now these people go to the floors to make up the rooms, toilets. The customer has moved out during the day. And after a survey, it has been found that their output is 30% more than the able person because they have no diversion. They have nothing to communicate, chit chat or guess, talk. So they are more focused on the work and they are very happy. Then what has happened that a lot of customers, they try to patronize such places because they feel that if I am putting my money here for some service, it is going to some cause. So why I should not put here? So this creates indirect PR for the establishment. And then in turn, the other employees, they get recognition in the society that, okay, you are from that industry which employs. So he gets a sense of pride. So the morale of that overall morale goes up. So it is recycling effect. So there is a business sense in hiring. Now suppose in a spinning mill, you have assembly lines where yarn is being rolled in the, and there are 20 such units going on, and there are rows of such units, and you have two persons moving up and down for 7.5 or 8 hours. Their job is only to see that the thread is broken, so you join it, start the engine again. And every 1 hour they have to be given break because the noise pollution is very heavy. So the person has to engage 4 persons for each unit, and he has 20, 40 such units. We trained persons with disability, they are engaged there, and they are able to give clear 8 hours because they have speech hearing disability. So in a sense, they are more able than the person with ability if the job mapping is done properly. So, and then when it comes to mixing cotton with synthetic, the sensitivity of a person with blindness is much higher than any one of us. And they do a much better job, and their concentration is different. They are not involved in discussions, topics, and other things. And it has been proved that the quality of mixing which they do manually is much higher than any other person. The error is much less. So with this mission we are going ahead. We do job mapping, we pick up job roles, we affiliate training centers, we train the trainers, we train the assessors, we certify them, and the certification is also carrying the vertical logo so that it is certified that he is trained in a particular job role. We have labor management information system. We keep a track of skill gap analysis. We see the employment opportunity, job opportunity. We do advocacy for them. We sensitize people for what is the business sense in hiring persons with disability. And this has to be gradually spread to a state level, district level, and it has to become an all India issue. So if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to respond to that. Thank you.